morning, afternoon, or evening. This is Conf42 Python 2021. Brace yourself as you step inside the Space Snake's realm. I'm Mark, and those are the sponsors and partners of the conference. Behalf and Terminus DB, gold sponsors. Silver sponsors and media partners. We've got 3 featured sessions today. In the first one, learn how to implement scalable and sustainable cybersecurity in the keynote by Gordon Rudd, the CEO of Stone Creek Consulting.
My topic, creating sustainable and scalable cybersecurity for any organization. I'm very excited to be presenting at this particular conference because I started my career off as a programmer in a language called Fortran many years ago. Most of you have probably never heard of Fortran, and you probably only read about it in a history book somewhere. Today, and for the last 20 years, I've been in cybersecurity, and Python has been one of the premier tools in cybersecurity for that period of time. We've used it to take all of the data that we collect from systems. I'm sure you're aware that every computer on the planet has log files. And if you turn the logs on, you're going to get a massive amount of information. Python's a critical tool for parsing those files and making sure that we're able to pinpoint exactly what the bad actors are doing.
Text analysis in real life can often bring unsatisfactory results. In the second featured talk, Naomi Kriger, software developer at Behalf, will cover efficient string comparison methods.
Hi everyone, I'm a software developer with previous experience in risk and data analysis, and I'm happy to invite you to my lecture, String Comparison in Real Life. String comparison has many usages in the industry, such as fraud detection, meta-analysis, and many more. But there are challenges we need to take into account when making these comparisons. In my talk, I will walk you through these usages, challenges, and of course solutions to make your next data comparisons efficient and elegant in your code.
How to be Pythonic? What is WOCLPy? We're about to find out in the third featured talk by Cheuk Ting Ho, Developer Relations Lead at Terminus DB.
I've been working in Python for several years now, and I love the Python community. Right now, I'm working full-time for an open source graph database, Terminus DB, and I've been maintaining the Python client, and I'll be talking about how to be Pythonic and my journey of designing this query language in Python. So hopefully, through sharing my experience, you can learn a little bit about when you're designing something in Python, what you would care about, and hopefully you would enjoy the talk.
The first track is harmless and consumes up to 80 pounds of bamboo per day. Introducing Pandas. Matt Harrison, Python corporate trainer and author, will cut through some of the biggest issues with Panda code.
I do corporate training and consulting at Metasnake. I teach people how to leverage Python and do data science. I'm going to be talking about idiomatic pandas. I've written books on pandas over the years, and I've taught pandas to thousands of people. If you want to learn some skills about how to write better pandas code, check out my talk, Idiomatic Pandas. Thanks. Bye.
Can pandas bend time? Who knows, but they can analyze dates and times for sure. Reuven Lerner, Python trainer at Lerner Consulting.
I'm going to be giving a talk on dates and times in pandas. There are all sorts of amazing capabilities that pandas provides for working with dates and times. I'm going to show you how you can do all sorts of cool analysis with that. If you don't know me, I'm a Python trainer teaching everything from intro Python to advanced Python workshops and introductions to data science and machine learning. I hope you will join me. Looking forward to it. See you there.
Enough massive bursts for today. The deep dive track opens up with building cloud infrastructure using Python with Sohan Maheshwar, developer advocate at AWS.
I'm here to talk to you about building cloud infrastructure using Python. It's a talk aimed at beginner/intermediate folks who are vaguely familiar with cloud concepts and know Python. I will talk to you about infrastructure as code as well as AWS Cloud Development Kit or AWS CDK. I hope to see you there. Enjoy the conference.
Have you ever heard of context managers in Python? Go through their enters and exits with Mason Egger, developer advocate at DigitalOcean.
I'm currently a developer advocate focusing on DevOps, cloud infrastructure, and Python. I've been programming in Python for the past 6 years, and I've loved every minute of it. In my talk, we'll take a closer look at Python's with statement, also known as the context manager. We'll discuss what they are, what they're used for, how to implement them, and more. I hope you enjoy my talk.
José Haro Peralta is the founder of MicroAPIs.io and a money gopher. He will show you how to deliver successful API integrations using Python.
Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in. I'm the author of Developing Microservice APIs with Python. If you have previous experience working with APIs, you will have noticed that typically no API survives first contact with its client. I'm really excited to be talking in this conference where I will be presenting about the strategies that we can use to ensure we can deliver successful API integrations with Python.
The definitive deep dive into the Git folder is the next hands-on session by Rob Richardson, developer advocate at Cyril.
So let's dig into Git. Now we want to look at Git, and our goal is to look at every file inside the .git folder. This is really fun. Here's the part where I tell you I'm definitely going to post my slides. Well, there are no slides. This is it.
Security is key when developing new tools. Build your first cyber forensic application using Python with Gajendra Deshpande, assistant professor at KLS Goethe Institute of Technology.
So in my talk, I will start with the introduction to digital crimes and investigation procedure, and very importantly the Daubert standard and how Python complies to Daubert standard. Then we will see with some coding examples how to create your first few cyber forensic applications, right, using the concepts and modules which are already known to you. So we will also discuss natural language processing libraries in creation of cyber forensic application.
In the next talk, Francesco Tisiot, developer advocate at Event.io, will introduce you to event-driven architectures with Python.
I've been in the data analytics world for the last 10 years, helping clients managing and understanding their data assets. We now live in a fast world where events happen anytime, and we cannot wait anymore the batch time in order to process them. We need application to react immediately on events. In my session, we will check how you can create an event-driven application by using Python and Apache Kafka. We will check how you can push data to Kafka, how you can read from it, and also how can you easily integrate Apache Kafka with your existing data ecosystem. I hope to see you soon at the conference. Ciao from Francesco.
Abdur-Rahmaan Janhangeer, the founder of compiler Alchemy, is here to present Shopio, your Mega Flask machine.
I will be talking about Shopio, which is a project designed to spawn big, flexible, organized, and modular Flask projects. This talk will look about understanding what a Shopio project is made of and how to create modules, how to handle migrations, etc. So hope to see you soon.
Multiple inheritance inspires fear in many programming languages, but not in Python. Whose method is it anyway is the emoji-driven talk by Jason C. McDonald, the founder of Mousepaw Media.
Hey there, I'm Jason C. McDonald, aka CodeMouse92, and I'm going to be talking about multiple inheritance and the method resolution order in Python. Don't panic, it's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for joining in.
If you'd like to learn how to create a map using Python, then Paolo Melchiorre, the CTO of 20tab, will introduce you to GeoDjango.
Keeping in mind the Pythonic principle that simple is better than complex, in my talk, we'll see how to create a web map with Django using its GeoDjango module, storing geographic data in our own database. Thank you for joining in.
Streamlit seems to be a perfect tool when creating Python-based data science applications. Build one with Steven Kolawole, data scientist at Citylana.
So if you've been building data hubs with Flask or Django in days or maybe weeks, we are to show you how you can build data hubs in hours or even minutes. So if you're interested in that, I strongly recommend that you join this call and hear me out. See you around.
In the next talk, Vishrut Kohli, software engineer at Grofers, will show you how to build a production-ready distributed task queue system with Celery.
Hi everyone, I'm really excited to be here. I started working with Python, or should I say fell in love with Python, in my early days of college, and now I am using it as my primary tech stack at work, where we use it at tremendous scale. I am working as a software engineer at Grofers, If you do not know about Grofers, it is one of the most popular grocery e-commerce in India. If you want to chat about anything else or about this talk, you can reach me through my LinkedIn or my personal portfolio.
In the last deep dive talk, we'll learn how to create reproducible builds with Bazel, introducing Gaspare Vitta, CI/CD engineer at Fiat.
If you run two builds with the same source code and the same commit, but on two different machines, do you expect to get the same result? Well, in most of the cases, you will not. I work with the CI/CD in an autonomous driving project, and today we will go through sources of non-determinism in most build processes. We will look at how Bazel can be used to create reproducible hermetic builds with Python.
The Lessons Learned track opens up with Ammara Laeeq, who will show you how to make your code more Pythonic.
Hello everyone, I'm Ammara from Pakistan. With the rise of digitization in every field and due to scarcity of trained resources, writing good quality code that is maintainable and readable has become need of the hour. In my talk, I will be discussing what are the attributes of good quality code and why it is important to write better quality code that is maintainable and readable. As Python programmers, what tools are available which we can use to make sure that our code bases are good quality and readable. If you want to write more beautiful, better, idiomatic and Pythonic code, then do watch my talk at Conf42 Python 2021, as I will be sharing some really cool tips and Python idioms which you can use to make your code bases more readable, more idiomatic and more Pythonic.
Don't put your server in a nuclear silo is an anecdote-driven session by Bojan Miletic, the CEO of Softwareific.
Hello everybody, it's a pleasure to meet you all. In my talk on why you should not use nuclear silos for Python security, I'll be covering all kinds of anecdotes that I encountered during my last decade as a Python developer. And they are gonna be crazy and super fun, so join me in my talk. Looking forward to seeing you.
Now let's explore some next-gen tools that can help you automate your testing workflow with Zac Hatfield-Dodds, researcher at Australian National University.
I'm going to be talking about why I think you should stop writing tests. It's kind of a cheeky talk title because I actually believe that tests are really helpful. They can help us find bugs in new code, check for regressions in old code, or clarify what our code means for our colleagues. So my solution isn't so much to stop writing tests as it is to use tools that do part of the work for you. To move beyond a world where automated testing just means the computer executes tests that were totally written by hand in every sense. To use property-based testing using hypothesis, where instead of describing the inputs and the outputs precisely with exact examples, you say what kind of input should be allowed and write a test that should pass for any of those input. I'll talk about code introspection and the way that hypothesis can actually write your test code for you as well. And I'll walk through how to migrate some existing tests because we don't want to replace things wholesale. And then finally, I'll talk about adaptive fuzzing. We can use tools that, instead of just running them once in CI or once when we've made changes, can leave our tests on a server running over and over again in a carefully prioritized search for new bugs.
So you'd like to build your data engineering portfolio, but you don't know how to get started. Hui Xiang Chua, Senior Analytics Manager at Essence, will help you make your first steps.
Hi everyone, I'll be talking about beginning your own data engineering projects. Collecting and maintaining quality data is at the heart of data engineering. Before we can perform data science or data analytics, we need data to begin with. And using Python, we can automate the data collection process and keep data up to date. Data engineers are high in demand as they lay the foundation for data-driven enterprises. If you are interested to build up your own portfolio of data engineering projects, watch my talk.
Aakash Gupta, Abha, Porwal and Absal K from Think Evolve Consulting will introduce you to measuring economic indicators using open Earth observations.
We'll discuss how we can use Earth observation data, or in more layman terms, satellite images, to extract economic indicators. If you are a policymaker or a strategy advisor, immediate feedback of your policies is very important for their successful implementation. This is where information gathered from satellite images can be very useful. Today, satellites revolve around the globe, taking high-resolution images of every part of the world. We will see how we can use openly available Earth observation data to illustrate the impact of lockdowns on NO2 levels across the Indian subcontinent.
In the next session, you will see how to perform machine learning experiments using Python with Joshua Arvin Lat, the CTO of NewWorks Interactive Labs.
Good day, everyone. I am the author of the book Amazon SageMaker Cookbook,
I'm also an AWS machine learning hero. The title of my talk is Machine Learning Engineering Done Right. So stay tuned and see you in my talk.
Paweł Skrzypek and Anna Warno from 7bulls.com are here to present the first complete AI investment platform based on the most advanced neural networks.
Together with Ania Warno, senior data scientist from 7bulls, we will present how to use the most advanced time series forecasting methods implemented in Python and how to use them for financial assets forecasting and also for forecasting other things like cloud computing data.
Remote teams are now more fragmented than ever. Create belonging with Najeeb Khan, head of people at Teamland.
So by now, everyone's used to working remotely, and we're kind of in our second inning of remote work. We have 80 plus people on a Zoom call, yet we feel isolated. The loneliness aspect happens for a lot of people. The question is, how do we get your remote team to feel more connected than ever before? I want to share with you the simple ways to create belonging within remote teams.
Have you ever wondered how technology is used for buildings? Introducing code in the architecture profession with Tadeh Hakopian, design technology manager at HMC Architects.
I am a design technologist and developer, and I'm here today to talk about how Python has been useful for designers everywhere to make their dreams come true with open source tools and technologies that have really expanded what's possible in designing things like high-rises, skyscrapers, stadiums, and so many other things. So this talk will give you a great overview of what's been going on with coding, Python, open source in architecture, building design, and construction. Please enjoy.
Python Memory Understanding is the next talk by Nisarg Shah, software developer intern at Fountain 9.
Hi everyone, my talk at Conf42 will be on the Python memory, where you'll get an idea about how Python memory works and how the garbage collection works. After that, you'll be able to think in that way and write some Python efficient code.
The conference closes up with some tips and tricks you can use when coding in Python. Best practices by Ranjan Mohan, senior software engineer at Tails.
Hello everyone, thank you for your time. I'll be presenting at Conf42 Python on some of the best practices we can incorporate while developing an application using Python. And this is intended for developers of all skill sets. So it is basically to give you an overview of some of the best practices that I have resonated with over the past few years. Hope you enjoy it, and please feel free to take a look and give me any feedback. Thank you so much, and hope it helps.
And that's all we got for Conf42 Python 2021. As always, free registration unlocks all the content. If you would like to ask questions to speakers or just meet other attendees, then we have the Discord server. Just before you get there, make sure to read the code of conduct. There is a giveaway with AWS credits as well as some free books from Manning and Pact, so check that. There are some Conf42 cast episodes coming, so check that as well. If you'd like to get notified of what we're doing on YouTube, then please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for us. As always, thank you so much for sponsoring, thank you so much for attending, and may the pandas be with you.